Hello everybody, Slim Kirby here, welcome back to more Let's Play Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. Last time we beat Part 2, Chapter 2, and now we're going to continue on with Part 2, Chapter 3 with... Can't remember if it's here or not, but... Yes it is, map commentary.
Insurrection erupts across Crimea. The wounds Crimea suffered during the conflict with Dayan have finally begun to heal. And it should be rejoicing in its hard-won peace. How is it that the fires of rebellion have been lit? Bastion, Queen Elincia's most trusted advisor, widely acknowledged for his political savvy, is on a mission to Dayan. And the Grail mercenaries, the original authors of Crimea's recovery, are nowhere to be found. Queen Elincia, close to despair, has nonetheless ordered the Crimean Royal Knights to restore order in Feliray. Her only wish is to win the coming battle, so that she may stave off a civil war.
Chapter 3, Joffrey's Charge. Okay, so we immediately start at the base, which is nice. Library, let's go to this, and Nephany was the MVP, which is actually kind of weird. I thought that I got enough kills with Lucia to make her the MVP, but I guess not. Anyway, have some info conversations, no supports, and we do have some new characters, as you can see. However, this isn't all of the new characters. I don't think there are anyway. Let me check. Okay, no, it's not. There is one more character we can get, and you actually get the character from the info conversation. Khalil's shop. So this should be pretty nostalgic if you have played Path of Radiance. You'll see a lot of familiar characters. The only reason Joffrey is here is to awaken Makalov, who is Marcia's brother. Useless brother, as Marcia has said many times. Oh god, he would say that. And there's Astrid, another character from Path of Radiance. She also joined the Royal Knights. And apparently she has a little thing for Makalov, too. Okay, I am laughing at that just because that's so hilarious that she would actually think that. And here's Largo, another unit from Path of Radiance, and actually kind of a fun fact. Largo, although he was playable in Path of Radiance, is actually not playable at all in this game. Apparently, in between games, he had a very bad injury and he can no longer fight. He is no longer a world-class berserker, as he used to call himself. Here is Danved. Okay, technically, if you want to get into very, very, very little specifics, there was a character in Path of Radiance named Devdan, and Joffrey's gonna bring this up. Yeah, like right here. Devdan. But yeah, this is not Devdan, this is Danved. And I don't know, I've always thought it was just a joke, and this is Devdan because I don't know, I have no idea. I don't know the story behind it. Danved is definitely not Devdan. But yeah, yeah, basically Danved is a character that looks exactly like Devdan, who is not Devdan. And he's actually going to come with us. So if you want to get specific, Largo and Devdan are the only two characters from Path of Radiance that don't make playable appearances in this game, but Devdan is taken care of by Danved. Okay, so I think I've laughed at that enough, so I'm sorry for taking up way too much of your time. Okay, and we have two other conversations. These are very important because you do get some weapons from them. So yeah, there's actually a little something-something going on between Alencia and Joffrey. And I believe later on, you can actually have a support ending with them. So I think it's intended for them to end up together. But yeah, if we talk to her, we get a Brave Lance, and we have one more conversation with another unit from Path of Radiance, and I believe I actually used Kieran and my team in Path of Radiance. I'm not sure if I am going to use him again, though. I'm not really sure. But yeah, we get a silver axe, which is actually pretty helpful. But yeah, Kieran is actually second in command of the Royal Knights, so he is a very important part of this army. Not as important as Joffrey, but still very important. Okay. Not sure why he called him hopeless, but whatever. Okay, I can actually do a few things here. I have a lot of bonus experience. I'm probably not going to use it, though. Actually, I will go ahead and use it to give her this level up. Just to get her to start at a decent level. And I can actually go to the shop and buy a few things. I can also sell some things, too. I mean, I don't have to, but I can if I want to. But I am going to probably have to buy some items. Let's see. Yeah, I'll go ahead and cut out some footage here, and I'll get these guys equipped, and then I'll be right back. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Okay, I'm back. I didn't do anything with Joffrey or Kieran, because I think that I'm probably not going to use them very much in this battle anyway. And plus, they have, you know, some good weapons as it is. Actually, I might give Kieran a steel axe really quick before I stop this base thing. I gave Astrid an iron bow, gave Makalov a wind edge, iron blade, and iron sword, Marcia an iron lance and iron great lance, and Damn Dead a steel lance, javelin, and iron lance. That might be kind of obsessive. I never really know how much I need to give these units, so I always kind of freak out and, you know, try to overload them as much as possible, which is probably not a smart thing to do. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and save my game again. And yeah, let's get started. We're at the gates of Castle Crimea, getting ready to march forward. So we actually have a pretty big battle ahead of us. This mission does take a while. I'm hoping it doesn't take me more than 4 videos, though. I'm hoping it doesn't even take me 4 videos. But there is always that possibility, especially with the way I'm doing it. But apparently Ludwig has a plan of his own, and we're kind of walking right into his trap. But we'll find out more about that later. Right now, we have a battle to do. And yes, I wasn't kidding. This battle is huge. This is a very, very long chapter. Jeez. Yeah, that's not going to be easy at all. We have a very, very, very big battle ahead of us. Okay, here we go, and if you couldn't tell, we have a lot of yellow units with us. We have a lot of allies with us, but honestly, we're not going to be using them very much. I'm probably going to get heavily critiqued with how I do this mission, just because the way I'm going to be doing it is very slow. But, you know, it's just the way I do things. If you don't like it, well, too bad, I'm the one playing. I hate saying that, but that's kind of... I kind of have to say that, because I can't let... You know, it's my playthrough, I can't really... I'm supposed to do it my way. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so how do I want to start this? We have... mostly axes over here. We have a few lances, so... yeah, Makalov's probably in the right place. Yeah, I guess this will work. This might work. Yeah, let's get started then. Okay. Now, there are a few units, but what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to divide up me talking about them. So don't expect me to talk about all of the units at once, because we are getting 5 new units right here, which is a lot. But first off, here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to take Joffrey. Going to move him right here, and I'm going to direct all of my units to this corner. All of the yellow units. That way, they stay out of the battle, and I can kind of hog the experience for myself. Again, might not be the best strategy, and I could be heavily critiqued for it, but again, it's just the way I do things. I'm sorry if you don't like that, but that's what I'm going to do, so, yeah. That is what it is going to be. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to put you right here. Or I guess another thing I could do, I could kind of try to, like, you know, talk about all the new units while I'm fighting them. I mean, there's no, like, you know, there's no correct way to do this. I can do it pretty much however I want. I'm going to keep you kind of back here until I actually need you. And where are the arrows? I have to watch out for those, because obviously any unit with arrows is going to be danger for Marcia. Okay, I seem to be pretty well covered though, so yeah, let's just put you right here. I forgot to give Marcia a sword, because she can use swords. I forgot about that. But anyway, let's start talking about the Royal Knights of Crimea. First, actually I'll wait till it's my turn again. That way I can actually look at the combat window and the stats. Unfortunately, they're going to kill a few of these units, I think. But that's fine, that just means they're not going to get the experience. I don't need to talk about Marcia, because I've already talked about her. So that'll definitely save me some time. I had a feeling that was going to happen, though. Now, a lot of the Crimean Royal Knights are overpowered, so you shouldn't have to worry about them dying. But, I mean, there are a few units that can, you know, hit the enemy pretty hard, so you just want to be careful of that. I mean, the Royal Knights are not invisible, and why are they not... Did I unequip Kieran's weapon or something? I must have done that without realizing it. Oh, wow. I mean, they're missing them, which is good, but I was kind of hoping that I'd be able to take some of these units down. And I'm also not going to leave the animations on for very long, because as you can see, this is going to take a while. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'll talk about one unit each turn, I guess. First, we have Joffrey, the leader of the Royal Knights. He's a level 15 Lance Paladin. So he's already pretty close to getting to his 3rd tier class. His stats are, you know, pretty good for this point in the game, obviously. But actually, in my opinion, he's probably one of the weaker Paladin units in the game. You know, it's just, you know, kind of finished getting him now when he's pretty close to getting the 3rd tier. He's a good unit to rely on if you don't have any other, like, Paladin units at this high of a level near the end of the game, but I don't know, there are better choices in my opinion. He has the skill Paragon, which doubles the experience points he gains, and I believe also Astrid has that skill too. Yeah, she does. But yeah, that's basically Joffrey in a nutshell. He's not bad, but you know, there are definite better choices as well. Okay, let's see. Let's actually handle this a little better now. Okay, first we have... Can I get you all the way over here? Not quite. I can do this, though. I also love the entrance of the Paladin units in the battle animations. It's like they rush up, which is pretty cool. But yeah, because the enemy's kind of focused over here, I'll kind of go back over this way, do some damage. I can actually use Astrid too. Sure, I'll use Astrid. Just to show her off. Astrid will get a lot of experience though, because of the Paragon skill. Which is good because she's only at level 1 right now. Or is she at level 2? Okay, level 2, never mind. But yeah, it's nice that she does have that. you know, just in case. Put you right here. You can't kill anything. Dang it, Danbed. Maybe you can get a critical hit. Maybe. Nope. Thankfully you can dodge, though, which is good. Okay, get you to kill something. As for my final team, I'd like to use one of these units, but I'm not really sure which one I'd use. And why does it look like Kieran doesn't have a head? I know it's a helmet, but for a minute it looked like he didn't even have a head or something. Which is just weird. All units should have a head. I don't know about you guys. That's just my own opinion. That should be like on the Crimean Royal Knights like application. Do you have a head? Okay, I'll stop. That's not a funny joke anymore. Okay, Marsha's getting pretty low. Hopefully she doesn't die. Okay, good. She didn't. Okay, so the next unit we'll talk about is Kieran. Kieran is the co-commander of the Royal Knights. Well, maybe not the co-commander, but, you know, he kind of acts like the second in command, basically. He is an Axe Paladin. He's also at a pretty high level, not as high as Joffrey, obviously, and, Danved's pretty close to him, too. He's good. Like, he has a lot of, you know, good stats. His defense is pretty good. His strength is pretty good. Well, actually, no, it's not. I just realized that. His defense is actually pretty low. Especially as a level 11 Axe Paladin. It's not even at 20 yet. But, like, I mean, it looks like it'll, you know, I don't know. It's hard to say. But I have used him before, and he can be good. But, again, I think there are other better choices, in my opinion. It's kind of weird, because I think the mounted units are actually a lot better in Path of Radiance than they are in this game. Or, you know, the Cavalier units, not necessarily the mounted units, because that also count. Flying units as well. But anyway, as I was saying earlier, I haven't really decided if I'm going to use any units from the Crimean Knights in this playthrough or not. I'd like to, just because, you know, I'd like to have, you know, a unit from every branch of the different armies you can control in the game. But, you know, I kind of count the Royal Knights as part of the Queen's group as well. And of course, I'm already using Nethany in that group, so I don't know. It's something I can still kind of figure out later. I don't have to. It doesn't have to be set in stone just yet. I am still thinking about it, though. Okay. Oh yeah, I should have actually checked, because I think Kieran has a skill, too. I think I know what that skill is as well, but I'll make sure before I say what it is. Okay, yeah, Kieran has the Gamble skill, which it reduces the unit's hit chance by half, but it doubles the critical hit percentage by doing that, so you can get a lot of critical hits in that fashion, but you severely lower your chances of actually hitting the enemy, which is obviously not good. Let me see if I can do this without dying. Okay, I can. I'll kind of put Marsha off to the side then, just so she doesn't die. But yeah, you guys can probably see how I play this chapter, and once again, I do apologize if it seems like this will take a while, because it probably will take a while, just to be honest with you guys, but again, it's my playthrough, and I want to kind of handle it in the way I normally do. You know, it's just my own personal preference.